Hello everyone, it's Eddie the Chump coming back with another video, and today is episode 3 of Living with Depression. Now, I've done my usual thing where I've watched the previous episode and I've made a couple of notes, and this is my first video this week and it's Wednesday, so the best thing I can do is be honest with you. This is a bit of a strange episode because I would say that I am currently in a bout of depression. And making videos and staying positive and being constructive is one of the ways in which I've learned to manage myself, and that's kind of the topic of the video today. If you ever find yourself, you're not a victim if you suffer from depression, but if you find yourself at the whims of something like depression, then it all becomes about how you manage yourself, and it becomes about self-knowledge and how you treat yourself. So I suppose this is a literal demonstration of one of the things that I've learnt to do over the years of having dealt with this. And the number one thing that it has done to me, depression, I've said it in other episodes, that it does that I really hate, this is the worst part about it, is that it's robbed me of motivation to want to do anything. And it's robbed me of a creative spark or a desire to do anything cool. So by me making this video, this is me rallying against my own nature, and that's the number one thing that you'll have to learn to do. As I said, it's all about management. The main inspiration for this episode comes from a conversation I had with a friend of mine, and he suffers very badly from depression too. His takes slightly different forms to mine, but we had a really interesting conversation. It just made me think a lot. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to mention him by name, obviously, but if you watch this, you'll know who you are. So yeah, we had a conversation about principles and rules. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed about people who suffer from depression is that they're generally very principled people. So they have a very strong code of what's right and wrong. And the difficulty, although that can be a good thing, obviously it helps them try to be better people, the number one way that that can negatively affect someone is that not only do they have moral or intellectual or physical expectations of themselves, but they also apply those expectations to other people, and that's always very dangerous because other people are in fact their own distinct people and don't deserve our judgment or us putting unfair expectations on them. And there can come a really bad effect when not only do we do not meet our own expectations, but other people don't either, and that can lead to isolation and bitterness and arrogance. And you know, a lot of the people that I know that suffer from something like this, they're generally intelligent and they're generally observant and articulate people, and that can lead to difficulty with other people because, as I say, we have expectations of ourselves. I know I for one have like quite a strict like, I don't know, for want of a better term, like moral code, and if I don't if I do something that's not quite up to scratch, I am my own worst critic. There is no one in the world that can criticize me even half as much as I criticize myself, and I find that to be true of most people who suffer from depression. I don't know, maybe it's just the people I surround myself with. I've always been attracted to personalities that are quite strong, that are opinionated, that are intelligent, and I think that a lot of those people suffer from the same things. As I say, I just came from a conversation with a friend who's exceptionally principled, and you know, it's really tough not only on himself but his friends as well. And that really, you know, from our conversations, it led to problems for him in being able to, it formed trust issues. It meant that he couldn't trust as fully as he would like to, and he can't, you know, I hear this quite a lot when I'm talking with friends, I can't turn that part of my brain off, and that's true. You know, there are certain ways of thinking that I have that I just simply can't undo, so I have had to learn to manage those. And obviously my symptoms are demotivation, laziness, hypersomnia, so I sleep all the time and all that kind of stuff, so I have to learn to manage that. And you know, with the conversation I was having with my friend, you know, he has to we got to the point where he was like, I have to manage my expectations of people because his biggest thing was trust, and he finds it incredibly easy for people to betray that trust because of the expectations he places upon them, because he applies his moral standards to other people. And although that's quite a natural thing to do, that will always get you in hot water, I think, because other people just don't have the same values as you, and you can't judge them for being better or worse people. It's just that they, on some small level, they might not have the same values. And that's one of the things that can lead to that horrible kind of isolation feeling that you get when you suffer from depression. Sometimes it feels like you own the monopoly on self-loathing and pain, and that's obviously not true. There are obviously millions and millions of people in the world who have it infinitely worse than someone who lives quite comfortably, just has problems sometimes with their mind. At least that's how I try and give myself perspective. It's one of my management systems, is to try and be grateful for how lucky I have it. The fact that I'm sitting here making this fucking video seems ridiculous to me at times, and has been a source of like, well, what, I'm fucking wasting my time. There are people out in the world who really suffer, but obviously suffering is relative. So anyway, that was the third episode. There will be more. I tend to not be able to entirely finish a subject because it's just such a big subject to unpack, as I've said before. But I really do enjoy making them, and it's already made me feel better. So I hope you can basically put up with me wanking in public, as some people would say. But yeah, go to my channel, subscribe if you like how I talk, or if you like how I play. That would be great. See you soon.